let's go ahead and officially get started. Martha, it's really good to have you.
Thank you.
My name is Jeff Gibby. This is Martha Stokes. Martha is a great friend of ours. I remember, it's been a while now, but I remember kind of setting her up as an initial partner. We were at our old Gateway office, so it's been at least 14 or 15 years. And I went down, I visited with Martha. I'm going to talk a little bit more about my visit with Martha up in the Seattle area. But let's read a legal disclaimer so we can kind of get everything rolling. As you're joining us, welcome, Manoog. As you're joining us, if you have questions during the live, make sure to chat them in here so we can actually see them. And let's go with this legal disclaimer. Oh, here's a picture of, okay. Today's demonstration is designed to instruct you in using MetaStock and the accompanying software plugins. It's not a recommendation to buy or sell securities, but rather guidelines to interpreting and using specific indicators and features within the software. The information, software, and techniques presented today should only be used by investors who are aware of the risk inherent in trading. MetaStock, the Traders Forum LLC, and their employees disclaim all liability for any investment decisions by investors based on the software, trading strategies, or any information provided in connection with these companies. MetaStock, Traders Forum LLC, and their employees and guests do not endorse the purchase of a security, nor are they paid for the promotion of a security. No information contained in the presentation should be construed as investment advice or the solicitation to buy any security. Also, want to say, if you haven't yet, if you're watching us on YouTube, join our community, www.thetradersforum.com. We have a lot of content up there. You can chat with other traders, learn about markets. The design or the idea behind it is a community of traders helping traders, thetradersforum.com. So that's all I have in terms of slides. I don't know if you want to share, do you want to share any charts today, Martha?
I'll see how it goes and what we're doing.
Okay.
A lot of information I want to talk about, such as the trading entrepreneur and that type of thing also. And I think that we may get going on that and be involved in a lot of going there.
Cool. Well, so let me kind of give you a more formal introduction. I've got your bio right here, so I can cheat a little bit.
All right.
But Martha Stokes is, as I said, a good friend of MetaStock, a good friend of mine. I've known her for at least decades at this point, at least 15 years, probably.
That's longer than that. But.
She has done 40 TechniTrader courses over the course of her career. She runs a company. If you want to find her, you can find her at TechniTrader.com. This company, like MetaStock, has a A+ reputation with the Better Business Bureau. And for the people that we've had go through TechniTrader courses, they've always been very, very happy. I've been to, as I said a little bit earlier, the TechniTrader offices in Washington State, and she has a really beautiful complex up there, and very professional recording equipment. I've always been impressed with your professionalism, Martha. So let's see. She's spoken for MetaStock, the CMT. She is a CMT, which is quite an accomplishment too in and of itself. But she talks a lot about relationship analysis or relational analysis for stocks, options. She does market condition analysis. And there's one thing that I want to add. I'm going to let you add some stuff too. But she also has, do you know what I'm going to say?
No.
She has the best salmon recipe that I've ever had. Like a very, very good cook as well. So
yeah,
with that being said.
Yeah, it's one of my many hobbies. Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to add to that in terms of kind of?
No, let's just go through your questions, and then because all your questions are going to hit on the topics that I do want to hit on today. So let's get started.
Let me ask you about your background. How did you get started in trading? Was it your first job? Like, it seems like everybody kind of takes a pretty roundabout way to get into trading. So can you tell me a little bit about how you got involved?
Well, I was 12 years old, and I was sitting watching my grandfather go through the Wall Street Journal, and he was studying his stock. They had to print everything, the ending open price and closing price, and they didn't have any charts in those days or anything. And I knew that my grandfather was the patriarch of the family, and that he had supported not only his own family but his mother and brother and everyone else. And so he took care of my grandmother when she got ill, and she was ill for a very long time, and he kept her in the home because he loved her so much. And I wanted to do that because I came from a family with, my dad was a grade school teacher and he had 9 kids, and we just didn't have enough money to go around. So I wanted to go to college. And so I asked him, grandfather, can you teach me to learn how to invest? And he patted me on the head and said, honey, the men in your life will take care of you. So at 16, I had saved $5,000, and I went back to him and I said, grandfather, I have all this money to invest. And he was very frustrated. And I said, look, I'm the only one that's interested. My brothers aren't interested. I know you want to tell my brothers, but they're not interested. I could bring a boyfriend along, but I don't have one. And I need to learn to invest. I want to go to college and I want to pay for it myself. I know you would help, but I want to do it myself. That gave him a lot of respect for me, because the people were always asking for money. And so he says he was really nervous about it at that time because the market was slumping. And he says, buy bonds. And I bought bonds, and it's like, this is not what I wanted to do. So I went back to him, and he opened up his portfolio, and he started showing me all the different companies he bought, and his success and his failures and everything. And then he pulled up this one sheet. It's one stock certificate, because he had the stock certificates. And I was looking at the stock certificates like they were made of gold. It's like, oh my gosh. And he looked at me and he said, I could see he was debating. And he said, this one stock has made me more money than all the others combined. And it changed my life about how I did it, because it was a new technology stock based on some car parts. I don't even remember what the company was anymore.
Oh, that's a good to ask.
Yeah, I wished I did, but it was a but because it was new technology, so then I started going, new technology, that's where it has to be. So then I started funneling toward new technology, learning about new technology, and so finished my college, went in and started a small business. It was a software company, met Howard, and we took off from there. And then I retired from that and sold that company, and I was sitting around being terribly bored at 39 years of age. And he says, Martha, we should open a mutual fund. And I did. And then I realized I hated the mutual fund, because people would go to me and say, I don't want you to buy that stock. I want you to buy this stock. And I'm going, no, you don't want to do that. And so finally, after a little bit, I said, this small fund isn't working. I think we should just close it, because they don't take my advice. And I don't want to be buying stocks I know are going to go down, and they're insisting on it. So we closed that. And then I was again a little bored, because we traveled and everything. It's like, oh, this is so boring. I'm not good at retirement, so I'm never going to. So I'm going to be this little old lady teaching you. And he said, you've always been an excellent teacher. Why don't we teach people what we know? Because they're always coming to us asking us for advice. And I said, are you nuts? And he talked to me for over a year. And finally, I said, just one meeting, and I'm going to held it in a hotel at those days. And the ballroom was three ballrooms combined. It was packed with people, stockbrokers, everything else in there at the brand new beginners. And I looked at Howard and said, we're going to be the laughing stock. We're going to have to give all these people their money back. They know all this stuff. He says, Martha, just do what you do. So I got up there and started talking, and I looked around the room and I said, you don't know this stuff, do you? And I had worked on the buy side, and I had my CMT and everything. And I was just stunned, because to me, this was everyday stuff that everybody had to know. So that's how we got started teaching. And I called the company Technical Trader, but that was taken. So we combined it, TechniTrader, and we took off. And since then, 26 years later, I'm still doing this and having a ball doing it. I just love it. I'm so proud of my students. Some of them have become professionals. Some of them one runs a hedge fund now. And I have professionals overseas that they wait from our market morning reports to find out what's going on, and so on. So that's my journey.
Cool. I liked it. What do you remember the first stock that you bought?
The first stock that I bought was Microsoft.
Okay. That makes sense with the technology.
Yeah.
Would
Yeah.
you say that you...
early 80s, and it was an emotional train wreck. It was very hard to hold on to it, because it was up and it was down, and it was up and it was down. I bought it too soon. Okay. But it did pattern out. Yeah. I tried to tell everybody to buy that, but they said, are you nuts? It's going to be Apple. I said, it's never going to be Apple. Yeah.
Did you, let's see, do you have an idea for what year did you start TechniTrader? Do
We
you remember?
started TechniTrader in 1998.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
About the time I was, well, I would have been out of college by then, but cool. I think that was about the year I started for MetaStock. I think I started in
Yeah. Yeah.
97.
Yeah. Mhm.
So, um, do you have any idea in terms of how many people you've taught over the years?
Well, I have about, I think about 10,000 students who've gone through the courses. We have a couple 100,000 that have gone through this basic uh, training video that we did years ago. That was a 90-minute DVD. Yeah. So
What would you say that you enjoy teaching more or trading more?
I love both. I do. And
Okay.
and when you teach, you have to teach them what to look for and how to analyze it. And I have a very unique approach to everything that's quite different because I'm buy side and I'm looking at it from a lot of the new technologies and a lot of the new structure of the internal market that we just don't see. Uh, People say, well, how do you know what's going to happen? It's like, well, the first thing you do is stop watching retail news because
Yeah.
the retail news is slanted to the advertiser. The advertiser is a big bank or a big financial services company or a big asset management company. They want you to have either be afraid or buy this or do that, or they're trying to manipulate you. So the retail news is the first thing I said. You got to cut down on it at least because it isn't going to help you out.
Now, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the trading strategies that you use. A lot of them are volume and relational analysis.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk a little bit about the trading strategies that you use and teach?
Well, relational, I have two professional doctoral theses. One is a cycle evolution theory, where it expanded the body of cycles. I won that CMT in record time. They told me I had to submit a syllabus, and if it was rejected, I couldn't go further on that. My CMT application was done, dead, because they got too many bad papers and they didn't want to waste it. So I sent the syllabus and it was approved in 2 days. I sent the outline in, it was approved in a week. They told me it was going to take 6 months. I sent the whole huge 100 and some odd page in a leather binder to them. And they said, oh, it'll take us 6 months to a year to go through this. In 3 weeks, I had my CMT. They were astonished because I took the approach totally different from everybody. Let's not prove cycles exist. We know cycles exist. What about the deviations? What about the variations? What about cycle peaking and extreme deviation peak, extreme deviation trough? What does that mean? What it means when the cycle is reverberating, just going like that. What does that mean? What does that mean for the stock price? And it just changed everything. Then I wrote relational technical analysis, going, okay, you have to embody not just the technical patterns, the candlesticks and the indicators and crossovers and all that stuff. You also have to embody fundamentals. Okay. And you can literally, in the MetaStock charts, I can outline where each of those fundamental levels are, because I watched what I call the dark pool buy zones in the bottoms, the rotation, dark pool rotation in the tops. You can see where they're slowly getting out. You will notice that we don't have a head and shoulders pattern going on truly anymore. It used to be, but now what they do is they slowly rotate out. So we have more of a rounding or a flat top that occurs when we're reaching a peak in the cycle. So the relational analysis is combining all of the information that's in the chart, right there in the chart, the MetaStock chart. It tells you everything. And saying, okay, what's the relational patterns that are going on? Where are the dark pools buying? Because the pro traders will find those, they will nudge it, the HFTs will gap it up, and you can make a lot of money. When a stock moves 50 points in a day, that is a day that you go out for dinner and you have a good time and you just take it easy for a couple of days, because it's very, very euphoric, and it's very like, oh, I can't do anything wrong. And of course you can. It's not, and there's no such thing as brilliant traders, just brilliant moments in the market.
I find I'm more brilliant when the market's going up.
Yeah, it is. The upside market is always going to be far more lucrative and easier to trade, because the market, everything wants to move up. They want to move up. So in a downtrend, there's always that underlying, we want it to move up, but it's still going down because the fundamentals are below price. And so it will fall until it reaches that fundamental level, and then we start the bottoming. And that's the key, is to really know where those things are happening, so that when you're selling short, you don't get caught into a buy zone because you will be obliterated very quickly with selling short.
I know you teach some courses on options and stocks as well. Do you trade stocks and options? Do you do futures? Do you do ETFs? Like, what kind of blend of investments do you
Okay.
do?
I don't usually do options because I can make more money trading stocks and I have the capital base to do so. A lot of times people trade options because they have lower capital base, and that's a way of them getting in, getting their foot in the door, getting a chance to build their capital. You will always make more money. I'm not talking about the percentage of ratio, because the reality is a point is a point. A dollar is a dollar. Okay.
Mhm.
So that's what you can take to the bank. You can't take a percentage gain to the bank. You can't. So there's a little bit of illusion there that you make more because of the percentage differences. And I just have never liked percentages because they're kind of wishy-washy in my term. I don't trade futures because I'm not a future stock trader. I have students that do trade it. I have professionals that do trade it and rely heavily on my analysis, because the futures tell you how the market's going to open, but it doesn't tell you how the market's going to go the rest of the day. My market condition analysis will tell you what is probably going to happen, high probability of what's going to happen that day. And that's what they rely on. They do their futures trading, and then they say, okay, how's it after market open? What's it going to do, Martha? And this is what it's going to do. It's pretty accurate. My students tell me it's 90 something, and but I've never bothered to really track it. They are tracking it for me. So,
That's nice of them.
yeah.
Okay.
ETFs are very important. ETFs are essential, but ETFs are also very fragile for the market. That's why we have support the market from the buy side institutions. That started they realized in 2017, 2018, the ETFs were becoming this huge new way of doing things. It started in 2008 because the mutual fund industry nearly collapsed, and the government said, "Oh, we'll support the banks, but you mutual funds, you're on your own." The mutual fund industry was imploding, and they said, "We got to do something else." So they started going more into ETFs. They were the spine there before that did exist, but they really started ramping it up. Now in 2018, they're going, "Oh my gosh! If everybody that has an ETF can sell it like that, we're going to have market crashes like you would not believe. We got to do something about it." So the big guns, the giant institutions, and there's about 6 of them, got together and they said, "We need to do something about this. We're headed for a train wreck. We're not going to be like the big banks and let everything crash because we're stupid. We're not stupid like the banks. We're not going to do all this highfalutin mortgage-backed securities with subprimes and credit default swaps, which we can't cover, which was supposed to be the insurance policy for all that. We're not going to do that. We're going to protect the American middle class wealth, which is trillions of dollars right now." And so they got together and they said, "We will agree to agree. When the market starts to drop below 20%, one of us or all of us will move in and start buying those in critical stocks to support the market." It's called support the market. It isn't advertised or mentioned very often very well. It is approved by the SEC because the SEC wants the market to go up. They don't want it to crash and burn. So the support the market is very important. And I started identifying in 2020 when we had the Ukraine-Russian war, and we had a bunch of other things going on, and regional banks were crashing, and everything was going. And the sell side, the big banks and we're just like, all right, we have a selling market. All right, we're just, because they make more money on selling short than they do buying long. The buy side is long-term investing, strong investing over time to protect the great wealth of America, which is the middle class. It's not the billionaires, it's the middle class. And because we have trillions of dollars there. And then there's the other part where the sell side is trying to always push the market down. They're always trying to cause something that causes the market to go down because they make more money selling short, because they sell short up here and then they buy to cover way down here. So they make a ton of money. And they know what they're doing. They have the best floor traders in the world, not bar none. They're fabulously intelligent and very, very competitive. And you got to remember that the traders, professional traders, are trading on the millisecond. So they're trading 60,000 times a minute, and they're striking the penny. They're getting in on the penny. You can't do that. You're on the minute scale. So it's a completely different environment. So it started in 2022. Every time if you notice, if you go back into the charts of MetaStock, you'll see that every time it started to inch down into the 20%, it came right back up. And they just nudged it above a bit to keep it up to the above that 20% bear market that is called. And they kept doing it. And the banks were madder than heck. And buy-side floor traders were going, yeah, eat it. Eat it, guys. And they kept nudging it up and nudging it up because mutual funds are required to have a vast quantity of capital reserve. So they had all that capital reserve that they could punch it up with. And they kept it up. So a bear market never occurred during that period of time. And then the market took off in 2023 and in 2024, it's kind of off and on a little bit here, but it'll start surging again because we have 20 some new technologies coming to market. And that's very exciting.
Cool. That's good. I'm curious in terms of when you buy a stock, generally, what is a hold time for you? Are you out pretty quick?
I'm a swing trader. Unless it's a platform position market condition, I'm a swing. I swing trade. I've never day traded, never liked it. I used to set up all my swing trades, wave Howard goodbye, and head off to go ice skating, and then come back several hours later, check on my stock, see if I needed to move anything. And he's day trading, and he's looking at me, you always make more money than me. And we were very competitive. He was an excellent day trader, but I made more money swing because I held it just a tad longer, a few days, 3 to 10 days. And he was, in and out and in and out and in and out. Well, in and out, in and out, and in and out does not make as much money as holding for 3 to 10 days. He goes, I give up. I'm going to swing trade too. So he switched because he couldn't beat me, and we were competitive. We were trying to beat each other all the time. It was a very friendly competition. It wasn't, but he did give up on that. So for all you day traders, you consider at least doing some swing trading because you make a lot of money. Platform position trading is happening when the dark pools are in control and they're slowly building these long. You'll see these long horizontal, very tight 10% ranges going on all the time, and that's their buy zone. And they'll start at the bottom, and then if the fundamentals improve, they'll build another one and build another one. So if you're working full time and you don't have time to really look at stocks every day, you can do platform position trading. You get in, you hold the stock, it moves up or often gaps up, and then you adjust your stop loss, and you just keep holding, and you can hold for anywhere from a month to 6 or 9 months. Yeah, it's still short-term trade.
Now, you said earlier you don't do news at all.
I have to look at the headline news. I do Google News, and they have the headlines, and I look at that, and then I also have a couple of web CNN that I glance at the headlines and news, and I'm going, are you kidding?
Would you say that do you change your strategy based on market conditions? Like if we're in a bullish phase, do you have different strategies? And if we're kind of sideways or range bound or bearish?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
That was it. Do you have different strategies?
There's 6 market conditions that I teach, and I teach each one individually. We have the bottoming market condition. We have the platform market condition. We have a trading range market condition. We have the velocity market condition. We have the moderately trending market condition, and we have the topping market condition. So those are the 6 different market conditions that I teach. Each one, I have a set of indicators that MetaStock, they're magnificent. I actually wrote them and designed them specifically for MetaStock. That's the only place you can get these indicators. They're not available anywhere else. And they do an excellent job of showing and forecasting their near-term price action. You can't predict the market, but you can anticipate the near-term price action, and they're very good on that. So each market condition requires a slight adjustment to what you're doing. What buy entry signals, instead of reversal and continuation candlestick patterns, which I'm writing a new candlestick course right now, updating what I had from 2007. I'm redoing the whole thing because there's traders nudges and all kinds of new candlestick patterns. I use Western style or common terms that you would say, like springboard, pole vault, hurdle, to describe the action that happens with that particular buy entry signal. It makes it easier rather than harami or takuri or anything like. I mean,
Sure.
get real. We speak English. So let's have a word that actually means something in relation to the actual action that you're expecting to have happen. It makes candlesticks fun and easy. And I'm going, students, there's a nudge. There's a nudge. And so they can get in, and they get in before that stock starts moving, because the indicators lead. Or leading means the indicators show that price is going to move before price starts to move in that direction. TTVA is excellent for that. It indicates before the price moves. MACD crossovers have to wait for the stock price to move before it can cross, because it's a moving average crossover.
Right.
So it gets you in just a tad early. In these market conditions where we've got a lot of choppiness, because a lot of people are very indecisive and they're like worried about everything that's happening globally and everything. So it's kind of dicey, it's kind of up and down. Getting in that extra early is a whole lot of profit than if you wait for the MACD crossover. It's just a huge, significant difference, because the thing can take off like a rocket and then you're chasing it. So you don't want to chase. You want to get in with the pros. And as they go up, TTVA will spike, and it'll tell you before it starts selling down that it's time to take profits. It's just sweet. It's just really nice. I really like it. So I'm very proud of those indicators, because it took me quite a long time to write. And
They're very good too.
I had to hire a programmer who could code for me, because I'm not a coder.
Yeah. And that was, yeah, they're very well written for MetaStock. The guy that coded them did a really, really good job. Do you, so you mentioned the 6 market conditions. Which one of those applies to the market we're currently in, do you think?
Moderately trending.
Okay, cool.
Moderately trending. Moderately trending is it goes up, it corrects a little bit, it goes up, it corrects a little bit, goes up, 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 and then it corrects more sharply. It's a moderately trending. We are in a baby bull market. It isn't, it has just begun in 2023. And it's just taking off, and it's going to be just like a toddler. It's going to get up and try to walk and fall down, get up and try to walk and fall down. I mean, that's the image you should have. You've all had children. Most people have had children. So you get the drift. So it crawls at first, and it doesn't look like a bull market at all. And then it starts trying to walk, and then all of a sudden it'll start running, and then it's going to be sprinting, and you're going to have to start watching for top. With the new technologies that are unfolding and all of this that is going on, you have to consider that it's going to have a phase, a phase, and then another phase. The last bull market was like 12 years. This one could last much longer, because there's, in 1990s, out of the 1985 to 2000 bull market, where it started early, and it was just a baby for quite a while. We had 6 new technologies. Okay. Today we have 20. I've never seen so much new technology coming all at once. It is blasting out of the universities and out of the venture capital areas and everything else. It is going like crazy. And they're also integrating in new technologies, integrating into other new technologies. They're going to use AI for solar power. They're going to use it for all kinds of things. AI is in its infancy. It is not over, folks. It is just a baby. It's just starting out. It is going to transform everything. And it has problems. So be careful how you use it, because it is full of all kinds of, well, this AI forgot everything it learned. Oh my gosh, we have to start over. Why did it forget everything it learns? I have no idea. Programmers are arguing. It's like, you did something. No, you did something. And a lot of times it's simply dirty code. Since I own a software company, I know about this sweet little thing that programmers do. They are told to change something, so they bracket it out. Okay, we're going to bracket this out, because I don't want to have to rewrite this piece of code if they need to keep it needed next time. So I'm just going to bracket that code. Well, every once in a while, with a combination of sequences of things that happen, that little bracketed code becomes active, and it blows AI up. So
go ahead. Sorry.
No, so you have to be careful with AI. I would be very, very careful. I know that my students are far better than AI at selecting stocks and trading them. You don't need that necessarily to succeed. And I would be very, very cautious with it, because it's going to take, next year, we're going to have all the lawsuits, companies getting sued because AI told the lady she didn't have cancer and she does. and so on and so forth. You got to be careful with it because it's in its infancy and it should still be in the R&D phase, testing and everything, but everybody wanted it to go viral, and it did.
AI driving is what concerns me, the liability.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the beta tester there.
Autonomous vehicles are at least a decade or longer out. We have a lot of work to do with the AI before it comes. The best feature is like you asked your AI, what questions should I ask my people? And that's
Yeah. Actually, it's this list right here.
yeah. And as you could look at it, you can see that that isn't such a great question. That's not such a great question. And you can see it in your own AI that it's flawed. It gives you ideas, but it's flawed. And that's okay. It'll grow up and it'll be amazing. I mean, when we first had software and it was in the zeros and ones, my brother was a programmer. He's older than me, but he was programming in ones and zeros. And there was a lot of mistakes that were made with that. And so as programming advanced, it became more sophisticated and more sophisticated, but you still have a program that's running AI. It's not running itself. So those programs can be fraught with problems.
Do you think AI is going to have an impact on trading?
They're trying to, but the SEC has told all of us on the professional side that we can't use it for anything more than routing orders.
Okay. Interesting.
So they don't trust it at all. And if the SEC doesn't trust it, then, and they're telling us that no. HFTs are getting away with using AI. And look what happened last quarter for earnings. Do you know how many stocks gapped down that had good earnings report because the HFT AI boo-booed? And so the dark pools came in with their support the market, pushed it back up, and slowly it came right back up to where it should have been. Oh, there was quite a few of those. So SEC is going, guys, can't do this. And so they've been backtracking a little bit. So I've been monitoring that this quarter, and HFTs are being very careful about earnings news because their AI isn't up to understanding it as deeply as it should. It's a fairly complicated thing to understand what those earnings and revenues actually mean and what direction the stock should take. So it's not as simple.
Do you you talked a lot about cycles. I kind of want to drill into that a little bit. Do you believe in do you think there are seasonal cycles like the Santa Claus rally?
Oh yeah.
The trading that you do.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that will continue to be in the same light? Do you think we'll continue to be bullish through the end of the year?
I think that we will start seeing some true bullish activity in November. And things will settle down a little bit more. This is common for this era, what we have going on with all the stuff that's going on in the news, and I'm not going to get into it. But I think it will occur, and I think it will pull over into the early part of January and February because all the corporations are going, well, we had a great earnings report. Nobody's talking about it. We had a really great earnings report. Nobody's talking about it. And they're going, and the big thing is that I always watch the buy side institutions, buy zones, their quiet accumulation, what's going on. Are they accumulating? Are they slowly rotating? What are they doing? They have been steadily accumulating since July. They didn't kick off and stop like they normally do in September. They kept accumulating and they're still accumulating. So what does this tell me? This tells me if they're accumulating, they know that fundamentals are above price.
Right.
So and price will catch up to the fundamentals. This is something you can put on a sticky tape and say fundamentals, the price and fundamentals are inexorably connected. You can't separate them. If fundamentals fall below price, price will fall. If fundamentals rise above price, price will go up. That's why I teach fundamental analysis within the MetaStock charting program, because it's there. You just have to recognize what it looks like in the charts.
All right, let's pretend for a minute that I'm a fairly inexperienced trader and I don't know what I'm doing. What would be the first course that I should take as a TechniTrader student?
Okay, if we have 3 different courses, and it really depends on the level of experience. The first is our standard ME10, and it's for new people who don't know anything about the market, and it takes them through all the basics of the market because there's a lot. You have to learn the language of the market. You have to learn the environment of the market and the social structure of the market, because there's 12 different market participant groups, and you have to understand that social function, because some of them are the supporters, some of them are the drivers, some of them are the speculators, some of them are the gamblers. So there's all this layering that goes on. You need to be with the right group when you're trading. So that's the standard for brand newbies and beginners, people who haven't done much trading and don't know much about it. And you really do need that education, is absolutely. Then we have the methodology for the intermediate group that's been trading for 2 to 5 or 8 years, and they need more. They have taken a couple other courses. They have a good foundation, but they have huge holes in their education, and they need those holes filled to really get successful and to be able to become an entrepreneur trading as a business. And then there's the elite course, that is the middle one is called the Premier. And the elite course is for anyone who has been trading a long time, or someone who wants to become a professional trader or a professional funds manager or whatever. That's the elite, and that's for the highest level. It's teaching you to be a professional. I have CMTs that take that course. I have prop desk traders in Europe and Asia that take that course, and in the United States and Canada. They're all taking that course. And I know your MetaStock, what's beautiful about your MetaStock is it works everywhere for all the different markets. It's just fantastic. So anywhere in the world, I can teach somebody. I have some people in Australia as well. So that's the top level.
Now, what advice would you have for somebody that's brand new to the market?
Do not trade until you have an education, because all you're going to do is lose money.
You'll really pay for your education if you don't get it first.
Right. You have to get the education first, because you're going to end up coming back anyways. And I have so many people say, Martha, I don't know why I didn't start with this. I lost $50,000. And I say, well, yeah, don't do that. Don't lose money in the market, because I'm here teaching when I should be retired. And I'm teaching because I know that if you trade better and you're more successful, the whole market benefits. When you lose money, that hurts the stock market, that hurts the US economy, that hurts the foundational financial wealth of the US. It is a bad thing. So if I can get more and more people to be successful, then the whole market structure is going to be successful. We'll have shallower, less time duration bear markets. They will be much shallower. People won't be losing everything. You don't need to mortgage your house to start trading stocks, and you shouldn't. Your home is your sacred asset, and you never borrow against it for trading stocks. You have to save a little bit of money. If you're brand new and you don't have much capital, we will build it. I had somebody that had $3,000. That's all she had. And I said, Kathy, yeah, don't worry about it. We will show you. And she traded very low price stocks because she didn't want to trade options. And she traded and traded. And a few years ago, while her husband and she were still working, she came to me and she said, Martha, I made more money than my husband, who's a high executive at Boeing this year. I made more money trading stocks. That's a success story.
I love the message behind that too, because a lot of people feel like when they're trading, there's a winner in that equation and there's a loser in that equation. But I like how your mentality of like, if I help people be more successful, we're helping build a bigger pie. We're not trying to fight over the same pie. We're making a bigger pie.
Oh no. Okay. So let's dispel the whole notion that somebody has to lose money in order for somebody to make money. That is a big, fat, mythy lie. Okay. Get it out of your head. Okay. There's a bank that's selling short. There is a newbie buying a stock just to buy it to invest, or let's say they want to trade and they're trying to swing trade. There is somebody that is buying to cover because they realize that there's a support level there. And there's a person that's selling the stock because they have already made profit. Those are the four positions every time that's going on in every single transaction that's happening. Sometimes right now there's not as much selling short. There's selling, there's buying to cover. Okay. So there's a lot of things that are going on all the time. Every single one of those people make money. The only time you lose money is when you buy a stock again, you have, because your friend is in the stock, or you heard it in a chat room, or a guru told you to recommended to buy the stock. You're buying at a high price. It slides down. You freak out because you're seeing all of your life savings go drizzling away down into this insatiable, huge monster that's gobbling up all your money. And you panic and you sell and you take a loss. Most of the losses come from that. If you learn how to trade, and there are times when you say, and when you're going, Martha, what do? I say, hold, wait, because you don't. Most people see this little loss that they take, and then they rush and sell it. And if they just waited another day, the stock would continue moving up. They just don't know what's a resting day pattern, what's a pause, what's profit taking by professional traders that isn't going to disturb price much, but could cause a panic in you if you don't know what's going on. So the first thing is get a good education. I'm not right for everybody, because I am like you will learn this, you will learn and read these charts. Yeah, you have to be committed to being successful. I can't help hobby traders. I want people who are going, I'm going to learn this. I'm going to be successful. I know I can do it. And it's like, all right, you're my student. Okay.
Yeah. You mentioned this a couple times, and it's a little bit of a shift of gears, but like you've said a couple times, I should be retired right now. So I want to ask you, like, what continues to motivate you to continue trading, to continue teaching? Go.
Because I have a passion for leaving a legacy. I have this fantastic estate, 14 acres. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I'm putting it into a irrevocable trust, and it's going to go to a church foundation who's going to continue to manage it for children to come into the wilderness and experience the real world, the natural world, huge, gigantic cedar trees, huge, gigantic.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a huge pond, and so they can experience and understand how to be. So legacy is a big deal, and this is my legacy. This is my professional legacy. Is I'm leaving a lot of people that will carry on and have this and continue to motivate people to not just trust everybody, but also to learn to trust themselves when it comes to trading and investing, because the part of the course covers long-term investing. And so that the whole body of the middle class of America can actually improve their financial success and improve where they are, so that not everybody wants to be a billionaire. I don't want to be a billionaire. Why would I want to be a crook and a liar and cheat and step and cut throats on the way up to success? I just can't do that. But I can leave a legacy of education, and I love it, teaching. It's a great passion. I get so excited when students are doing well, and they tell me about it, and I'm just thrilled to pieces. And we had this trading entrepreneur course I put together. I've been wanting to do it for about a decade now. The IRS in the United States and some other countries, their tax status, as in Canada, also have a trading status. That is to make it equal to professionals. It was started in the mid-90s, where if you traded like a professional and you were a professional in what you did, you could treat your income from trading like a professional does, and they treat it like a trading as a business. So they're a business trading stocks. And that allows you to take all these expenses off: your education, your ongoing education, your MetaStock charting software is all deductible. And right now, that's not possible if you're a hobby trader, because the IRS determines whether you're a hobby trader or trading as a business. And so what we did is we went through and we talked about all the different types of entities that they could use, all the different types of things, how to set it up. It wasn't about trading. It was about setting up a business, trading as a business, tax status, how to start it, how to implement it, how to fund it, how to manage it, and everything. And students were like, oh, wow, this is the best course I've ever taken. They really loved it. So now I've got this group that is coming through, and they're trading like professionals. They'll get trader's tax status from the IRS or from their other nation. And then they will be able to deduct everything they have. They like that. They like that they can subtract their MetaStock charting software. And of course, now they look at it and they say, well, I have the basic MetaStock. Why don't I just bump it up to the more professional level MetaStock charting software level and go, more live and that type of thing. So it benefits them that they can deduct all those expenses off. They can deduct their office space. They can deduct electricity, water, phone, computers. If they buy a big ticket item, they can do a Section 217 and take it off that year, a total expense rather than deductibles. You can't take off any of that stuff right now. So when you get to the point where you're very successful, then you can go to this and do it as trading as a business. And this elevates people. The thing is that in the United States and in the world, we are facing a cataclysmic event, and it's called robots and robotics taking over jobs. And because the corporations need to lower payroll expenses are the primary expense of all companies. And so when they can't find workers and workers don't want to work, Amazon had 250,000 robots in their whole organization worldwide in January. Guess how many they have now?
Ooh. 251,000. No, I'm just kidding. 500,000 is going to be my guess.
750,000.
Oh, okay. That was going to be my second guess.
Yeah. And they're going for a full million early next year. So jobs are going to go bye-bye, especially a lot of jobs for people who are depending upon it. And AI is going to take over. So what are you going to do? Well, the wealth of the world is in the U.S. stock market, guys. It is the largest stock market in the world. If you combine all the other 200 and some odd stock markets that are in the world together, the U.S. stock market is still the largest. We have the largest financial markets, all of them. We are the largest. This hub of the financial world is the U.S. So you want to be trading and being able to access it. All internationals can trade our markets, no problem. And so you can benefit from that and have a huge opportunity. So this is the future, is that there will be fewer common jobs. They're even replacing programmers. They're replacing all kinds of people. And so the future for the Gen Z and the younger millennials is they need to start learning about trading stocks. They need to get MetaStock charting software. They need to get an education. It doesn't necessarily have to be mine, but it has to be an education. And start trading stocks younger. Don't wait until you're 65. That's, fine, but you should start earlier because you can build a huge wealth. And MetaStock charting software, even if you're a long-term investor, you should have MetaStock charting software so you can follow your ETF or your long-term investment and you can see what's going on. You should do that.
Yeah. And I think you should get a course. And I do think you're right for everybody, Martha.
I'm a very intense teacher. I'm very intense. I'm very into my students. I have high expectations. I am always telling them, raise your expectations. They're way too low. Raise your expectations.
Yeah. I think that's what you want in a teacher.
Yeah.
But you are very intense as a person. Yeah. I wanted to ask you, and I know you work hard. You work incredibly hard. What do you like to do when you're not working?
I'm a ballroom dancer.
Okay. I did not know that.
I'm testing on my internationals this next month.
Okay.
Some of them. So I am raising my bars and my expectations. I'm very excited. I am one of the first adults to test in the professional to the international level. So the ballroom that I go to is extremely excited because I'm the very first that said, I want to test. I want to elevate and raise my expectations in my dancing. I just don't want to be a social dancer. Yeah, that's my big passion. I also love to paint. I am looking around in my office here and I have my paintings all over my walls. I love painting. I love gardening. I do a lot of gardening. I have a few livestock that I really like. And I have
chickens.
Yeah, I have chickens. They raise enormous eggs and everything. And they're lots of fun. So I have lots of things like that. And I do a lot of sponsorship of kids and ice skating, ballroom, gymnastics, and so on. So I'm deeply involved in the kids and their activities. So I'm really busy.
Yeah. Wow, that was a lot more than that was great. Yes, I have chickens too. How many chickens do you have?
I have 6.
I have 4 right now. But only because a raccoon just got one.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, let's see. Are there any questions that I should have asked that I didn't ask? Anything else that you want to talk about?
I think you've covered a lot of things.
Well, here's one. How can people find out more about what you're doing? Is the best way to go to the technitrader.com website?
TechniTrader.courses is the new website that we have. So TechniTrader.courses is where you can see the TechniTrader. We have mini courses. And what these mini courses are is an example of how we teach. So I have one on leading indicators. I have one for beginners. It's just starting out. I have the trade management planner one, explaining that trade management is not just finding a stock and trading it, but also saying, okay, this month, what have I got as far as capital? It's a Excel sheet program that Howard wrote. And I looked at it and I said, our students need this so badly. He says, really? I said, yeah, we really need this. And so it sets it for us. You put in all the numbers and it plugs out what price range of stock you should be trading, how many trades you have to put on a month. And everybody's always shocked. That few? Are you kidding? It doesn't take a lot to meet your goals, what your goals are and all these things. So take the trade management planner, because I think a lot of you are already trading, and do that little mini course. It's free. All you have to do is register. We don't harass you. Either you like me or you don't. And we have most of our courses are word of mouth from other students saying, yeah, you should take this course. So I'm just a very soft key marketing person. I don't push people. They either do or they don't. And so, but there's all these other mini courses you can take, and there's other webinars and things to study on, things like that. So, and I have a YouTube channel. We have MetaStock up there, and so it's a lot of fun. I just feel like it's kind of just gives me purpose. Gives me purpose.
Is it youtube.com/TechniTrader? Is my guess.
I'm not sure because I never go there.
I'll find it. We'll include it in the show notes for sure. Because you should always like and subscribe. If you are watching us on YouTube right now, give us a like and a subscribe. We appreciate it. It helps a great deal. And there you go. Martha, I think that's it for me. I want to say thank you for coming in and spending some time with us, talking a little bit about your background. I thought it was great. I appreciate it. All the work you've done with us over the years has been awesome as well. And just thank you. I appreciate it.
Guys, MetaStock is awesome. They are the best partnership I've ever had. They're congenial. They're thoughtful. They work extremely hard to create an excellent, excellent charting program. They're international, which is, I don't know of anyone that has all the different support mechanism for international traders as they do. They have all kinds of different things that you can use and try and experiment. They have a full-blown tools program. I have all my tools in there. I have all my indicators in there. I have all my scans in there, and all that comes with my course just automatically. It's part of the course. So MetaStock is our premier partner, and it's the best partnership I've ever had. So thank you.
We certainly love having you around, and always been great. So TechniTrader.com. Don't forget about that. Or I'm sorry, TechniTrader.courses.
Both will get you there.
Yeah, all right. Thank you very much, Martha. I appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.